You can now include your mother-in-law in your Covered California health plan. Hi, I'm Kevin Knaus with InsureMeKevin.com, and new for 2023, Covered California will allow qualifying adult dependents of the primary tax filer in Covered California to be included in a health plan with the subsidies. So this is a pretty big deal for many families. Now, with Covered California, they're not going to have to really do much to their application. All of this is really going to rest on the person who is applying for the health insurance. And what it comes down to is the Affordable Care Act and the subsidy calculations underneath Covered California all revolve around IRS tax household and all of the IRS tax regulations. So for a primary tax filer to claim an adult as a tax dependent, they have to be deemed a qualifying relative. And there's many different conditions and tests that have to be passed in order for that to happen. If you are unsure about any of this, contact your tax preparer, research IRS publications about qualifying relatives to make sure that your parent or step parent actually meets the test for you, the primary tax filer in Covered California, to put that person in your tax household. At a minimum, the primary tax filer needs to provide more than 1/2 of the financial support for the adult. And then there are other conditions regarding immigration and marriage. If all of those conditions are met and you can take your parent or step parent as a tax dependent, then you can put them on your Covered California health plan. You can include them in the household. This does not relate to sisters or brothers, just parents and step parents. Once they're in the household, they can't have other insurance to be able to participate in a health plan, such as Medicare. If the individual has Medicare, they can't get a Covered California plan with the subsidies. But they can be included in the individual and family plan. One of the nice things about Covered California is you can split up family members. So one person can have a PPO plan and someone else can have an HMO plan. Perhaps the parent or step parent wants a gold or platinum plan, while the other members are okay with silver or bronze. So that's really nice. So not everyone has to be on the same health plan, and that kind of can help save costs overall. Now, the adult dependent must live in the region that the Covered California account is in, so they can't be in another state and then participate in the health plan in California. They also will not be able to enroll in a Covered California dental plan through Covered California. However, there's plenty of dental plans off exchange that are very good and very similar to the Covered California plans. Also, these rules that were passed in 2021 and 2022 to allow adult dependents to be on the health plans will also apply to off-exchange health insurance, individual and family. I don't know how the carriers are going to be handling that, how they're going to determine whether your parent or step-parent is a tax dependent. We'll be learning more about that. Once you have determined that you can take your parent or step parent and they do qualify as a tax dependent and can be included on the health plan, you also need to look at the ramifications this may have on your Covered California application. For example, let's take a household of 3, 2 adults and a child. They make $70,000. Under that scenario, everyone, adults and child, are eligible for a Covered California private plan with the subsidies. If you add a 4th person to the household, that kind of changes where the household falls on the federal poverty level, because it's a 4-person household now. And when we do the calculations on that, the 3 adults are eligible for a private plan with the subsidies, but the child is deemed eligible for Medi-Cal because the income threshold for a child to be eligible for a Covered California plan with the subsidies is higher than $70,000. So by including a parent or step-parent, a child may go into Medi-Cal. Actually, there's probably some scenarios where adding a parent or step-parent, or several of them, may put the whole family into Medi-Cal. So you need to carefully look at all the different situations and ramifications of adding an adult dependent into the household, and how that may change the subsidies and eligibility for Medi-Cal. It's possible that some adults who are eligible for Medi-Cal, once they are in your tax household, may no longer be eligible for Medi-Cal because they're being taken as a tax dependent, and your income is now their modified adjusted gross income. And so that could change things. And if they're happy with their Medi-Cal coverage, you may not want to play around with that. So there's a lot of different things that need to be looked at. On the face of it, it sounds great that you can add parents and step-parents onto your plan, but there can be unintended consequences. So if you have any questions or comments, you may leave them down below and I will do my best to answer them. Otherwise, you have a wonderful day. I'm Kevin with insuremekevin.com.